Wow, it's been a long minute since I've made a video. I'm sincerely sorry about that. Been in a terrible, terrible mind state, but that is not the purpose of this video. It seems I missed a metric ton of lore in Issac Nihilus VII's return to YouTube, as we all knew he would. I had full intended to follow up with him in about a month, but that opportunity may have been dead due to me attempting to sway a few of his newer fans to the path of the Jedi. The other night I was watching a video on the Wise Shooter made by Tom Dark. I went to refresh the playlist and my YouTube crashed. Lo and behold, my favorite fanatical flatulist graced my feed with his undeniable cadence of incel authority. Seems he made a response to a friend of the channel, Mortal Kombat. We will now be watching this video in its entirety. I viewed a little bit of it and can already tell this is going to be quite the doozy. This magnum opus begins set in the backdrop of Chicka Chicka Faja Eminem's woods, where our protagonist often retreats to record. Seems he has opted to go for the very Chad-like scruff. Isaac, I need some dedication now. Full beard or butt cheek smooth. Pick a path and stop playing with my testosterone levels.
Hey everyone, it's Darth Nihilus here, back to you today with another video. And today I will be doing a video response message to the dickwad Mortal Kombat.
Why you gotta drill my friend that way? Mortal Kombat is a lovable entity and definitely not a dickwad. Try hard if these awkward 360 lobby-esque insults aren't wowing anyone.
Now, before I start this video, I just want to make one thing perfectly clear. This is the last and final time I will ever respond to that faggot.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's 2024. Now don't use that word, man. I'll report you to CNN.
I swear. After this, I'm never going to respond to that cocksucker, no matter what the fuck he says about me, or what he accuses me of doing, or saying, or being, or anything like that. But anyways, on to the video. Now, originally, I was not even going to bother responding to this little shit. I mean it, too. Like, I am dead serious. I was not even going to respond to him. I was not going to give him, or whoever the fuck is behind that ridiculous, bitch-ass, retarded, pathetic, pitiful...
Ever the Warsmith. This man was born in the wrong year. He should have been born on October 12th at precisely the hour of 1:36 p.m. Seriously. I'd read a fanfiction on the Twilight protagonists farting in each other's eardrums if you penned one.
Of his or hers, or again, whoever the fuck is behind that channel. And it's funny because that cunt made not one but two channels with pretty much the same name. But the only reason I am responding is because this little fucker has forced my hand.
Forced your hand? Watch out, MK. He's going to force choke you with a copy of the Slim Shady LP doused in the butt juices of his local pastor.
And that is not my fault. It's not. I didn't ask for any of this. Whoever's behind that channel is just so obsessed with me. Plain and simple. Whoever's behind the channel is so crazy obsessed with me. Literally. And if you say otherwise, then you're only kidding yourself. You're only fooling yourself. And when you just look at that person's channel that is so completely dedicated and devoted to me, it's honestly pretty obvious just how very obsessed that individual is with me specifically. I mean, what's so interesting or fascinating about me? Am I really that big of a deal? Honestly.
It's not just big, it's huge!
Like, what did I do to, get and receive this absolute maniac who is so crazy obsessed with me?
You constantly harp on others being crazy and idolize the Joker? How very fitting.
I mean, this person, this individual is literally, honest to God, a lunatic. This person is insane, and yet so many people want to make me think I'm insane and that I'm crazy and unhinged. And even if I am, at least I can admit that shit and not, hide behind anything and pretend to be someone or something I'm not. But when it comes to this certain specific individual who's behind the Mortal Kombat channel, this person is a lunatic. He or she is crazy, insane, unhinged. I mean, this person, this human being, this individual is practically a stalker, a cyber stalker to be exact, since it's not in real life, thankfully. But even just the fact that this person has been cyber stalking me for all these years now is just honestly pretty creepy, to say the least. You know, and the thing is, I'm not scared about whoever the fuck is behind this channel. I really am not. I'm not scared. I'm not terrified. I'm not. I'm standing my fucking ground. And, you know, this person, this individual wants to falsely accuse me of being,
Falsely? You've on multiple occasions, no countless, admitted to very terrible things. A creator with 100k subscribers who has probably seen a thing or two was absolutely appalled by your words, worldview, and actions. This is a feat. Congratulations. You going platinum out the hood with this one.
You know, a guy who's into incest, which I am not.
This is all I watched up to. I'm not into incest, yet 5 minutes later you talk about how you used to be into your own blood sister. If you ask me, I guarantee you still are and would definitely help out with that OnlyFans content.
And not to mention the fact that he himself or she, or whoever the fuck's behind that channel, because it could be a guy, it could be a girl, for all I know. But I would more likely assume that, if anything, it's a man and not a woman. But again, who knows? Because this individual is a fucking coward who's never showed their real face.
This always perplexes me. Why are lolcows calling people cowards for not showing their real face over the internet? I've watched a lot, and the one consistent thing with the exception of King Cobra is none of you have jobs. You couldn't travel to even do anything to incite fear in your so-called trolls. Just ask Pebbrick. He offered you a boxing match, and if you just lasted 30 seconds, it would have got you laid. I even offered you an old PC that was worth 2k. This would have taken care of the two things you want most, to lose your virginity, and a beast of a rig to play nothing because you use a hotspot.
Not even at least their real voice with a black screen. Even if they didn't show their face, they could at least, at the very minimum, be brave and courageous enough of revealing their voice so that way I can at least tell if it's a man or a woman. But no, because this person is an absolute pussy and a coward, whoever they are is refusing to not only show their real face and hiding behind some bullshit ass fake profile picture and also fake account name, but also doesn't even reveal their real voice. So there's no way of telling if this person, this individual, is a man or a woman or a guy or girl or whatever. But you know,
How are you even making this statement? You literally do nothing with your limitless time.
I just think it's really sad that this person has nothing else better to do with their time than to just beat down a guy like me who's already in the fucking gutter. Like, I'm already in the trenches. I'm at rock bottom, and I have been this way for many years of my life now. Even years before I ever identified as an incel, a black-pilled incel to be exact, a raging virgin if you want to call me that.
This is not the flex you seem to think it is. Existing and you do nothing but exist is nothing to be proud of.
Which, to me, personally, is not an insult. I am not offended by that one bit. I take that as a compliment, as a matter of fact. You know, it's not like I love or enjoy being a black-pilled incel or raging virgin or anything like that, but at the same time, I am not at all offended or insulted when any motherfucker tries to say that about me or, you know, speak, you know, the obvious about me, when I already do that shit myself, and I have for many years now. But even years before I ever identified as a black-pilled incel or ever knew what the definition of an incel was or what it meant to be one or what the ideology of the black pill was, I was still a miserable wreck and still severely, extremely depressed ever since I was 15 years old in 2012. I had social anxiety, crippling chronic depression, stress, I was just very brokenhearted, very negative, very cut off from the world, just cut off and shunned from society, from people, all that shit. And, eventually that evolved into me becoming and turning into a black-pilled incel, a raging virgin. And then even later on, in my late 20s, I became just, for the most part, pretty damn nihilistic. But so the thing about Mortal Kombat is that he is trying to falsely, unfairly, and unjustly accuse me of being a guy who had a sexual relationship or intercourse with my sisters, even though there was only one of my sisters that I was ever sexually attracted to, which was many fucking years ago, back when I was a fucking teenager, back when I was 15, 16, 17 years old in 2012, 2013, and 2014. I haven't been sexually attracted to her for many years of my life now. Why? Because she's a fucking whore. And if you...
Buddy, if you found your sister hot back then, you still do. These kinds of degenerate thoughts don't just leave. Somewhere deep down, you would raw dog her and you know it. My favorite part is I wouldn't do it because she's a whore. Why, dear viewer? Because a normal person's number one reason would be we are related, not because you view her as a whore. Weird thing is, based on the age range, she would have not even been a teenager by then. Now, I'm not like you in any way, but I never knew a single prepubescent girl hoeing down the block.
Pussies think that I am still attracted to the sister that I used to be and once was attracted to back when I was a teenager, and she herself was younger than me. Then you're a fucking idiot. You're a moron. I mean, like, no doubt, you're a damn wretched ass fool. If you really think for even a second that I am still sexually attracted to, aroused, or turned on by the sister that I used to be and once was a very long time ago, then you're just stupid. You're a fucking retard. And you know what? She has been a whore for many years now. Like, for the past, I don't know, fucking 4 or 5 years. Since, like, 2019, 2020 or some shit like that. Past 4 or 5 years, she's been a fucking degenerate whore. Just having many relationships with lots of different guys. Not that that's any of your damn business. And, that...
For a man who claims to not be into your sister anymore, you seem to have a very knowledgeable grasp on her personal life. Why do you care so much? Oh wait, I must also be a moron because it's obvious. I like how he says it's none of our business. That is some Chappelle-level comedy if I have any credibility in this sphere.
That shit is very common anyways, but...
I love this little sigh he does. Oh sis, I got a sock in the back of that dryer. Could you retrieve it for me? Isaac is the only potential passport bro not coming back with an exotic woman.
Most women in the West, and even not just in the West, but pretty much all over this fucking world, most women, the vast majority of these hoes are whores, bitches, skanks, sluts, thoughts, hoes, you name it. They're perverted, they're degenerate, they're the scum of the earth. They have no dignity, no self-respect, no modesty. They are not traditional in any way, shape, or form.
How are you in any way traditional? You won't go out and seek employment, you don't drive, and all you do is bash women who don't have these traits yourself. You see, black pill ideology is very amusing to me. Their belief structure is so extreme, they think they are Einstein levels of intelligence, yet lack the common sense to see it's on them to change two very simple things and they might get a woman.
In any sense, they're not conservative or Republican, or hardly anyways. They're not at all religious or Christian or anything like that.
You aren't a real Christian either. The book says to not judge you. Here we are.
They don't really go to church. They don't, partake in practice in religious activities. They're just completely and totally out of control. And unfortunately and sadly, that's like also the sister that I used to be and once was attracted to many years ago in my fucking life. But I have grown out of that shit. I've matured and evolved from that past old version and self of me.
I hate to keep touching on this, but I feel I must also go off on little tangents like you do to make it a decent video. If you aren't attracted to her anymore, why does it seem to come up every 2 minutes? We know. You don't have to keep iterating it nonstop. Look at the expression on his face. The damn gas boner inducing. It never fails. A penguin could have a little dirty bubble, and Issac would blow his load at the mere water disturbance for 1,000 miles away. If our farts can't be safe, then I don't want to live on this rock anymore.
And, you know, the thing about me is like, yeah, I used to be and once was attracted to my sister. And here's the thing. I was attracted to her because she passed a lot of gas. And as you all know, because I've been very open and vocal about my fetishes over the years, like on my YouTube channel, especially my old YouTube channel that sadly and unfortunately got terminated by YouTube.
Oh yes, the Jews definitely nuked your channel. It had nothing to do with your racism, sexism, and overall nasty belief system. Nope, blame it on my people. We also control the markets on all gas rackets. Don't make me tell on you because we will raise the prices.
Which doesn't surprise me one damn bit because there's so much censorship and like just political correctness and cancel culture and banning of so many people on this platform, but especially and most of all incel men, especially if they're like really open and vocal about being incels and self-proclaimed incels and all that. But you know, when it comes to me, and I'm not asking any of you to feel sorry or bad for me or pity me or anything like that, or have any empathy within yourselves for me, because I can clearly tell for so many years now that you motherfuckers don't. You absolute cocksuckers have absolutely no empathy, no sympathy, no pity. You don't feel bad or sorry for anyone except maybe yourselves, and that's only if or when you're having like a bad day or whatever. But for the most part, you pussy-ass cowards have such a wonderful, privileged, spoiled, rotten life, and you definitely come off as that too. Like, just the way that you talk to me, the way you behave and act, your personalities just scream as someone who had such a privileged, spoiled, rotten, wonderful life growing up. And it's pretty obvious that you did. All you fuckers. All you absolute, literal, honest to God faggots had such privileged, wonderful, spoiled, rotten lives. You don't know what it's like to suffer because you motherfuckers have never suffered a day in your entire pitiful lives. And but you know, the thing about me is, like, I never wanted to have feelings or be attracted to my sister. You think I loved that shit? Even back then in my old past self, which I have not been for a while now? You think I loved that? You think I was proud of that? You think I fucking enjoyed that shit? No, I didn't. I didn't at all. I hated that version of myself. I could barely fucking live with myself because of that. It caused me so much torment and torture emotionally and mentally. It took a toll on me. But I don't expect any of you motherfuckers to ever understand that shit. Because you individuals have it so fucking easy and always had it so fucking easy to get bitches. To have so many fucking girlfriends that you fucked the shit out of and made suck your dick and take your dick up their ass.
You yourself on our interview mentioned a girl in the boarding school type place that was interested in you. You should have taken her up on it. Who knows who you would have become? She wasn't my type. We've been over this. You are only into women that are models and actresses. These type of women only go for men in the same sphere as themselves. It won't happen. Your delusion is incredible.
You people had it so privileged, so wonderful growing up. You had heaven on earth. You had paradise. You had all the fucking women you ever wanted. You got to fuck your brains out. Fuck to your heart's content. Fuck to the ends of the earth. And get all this pleasure from all those girls that you fucked the shit out of, and most likely in the process ruined their fucking lives. Being a player, man whore, and all that dumb shit.
Well, watching this at a 20-minute mark, how again is this a response to Mortal Kombat? I'm not sure why I'm mentioning this, but it seems all you were saying now is the usual woe is me bullshit and that your sister is sexy to you.
Being all promiscuous and hypergamous and whatnot. Just sleeping around and screwing your brains out. When I myself could never get a single damn girlfriend for myself. Why? Because I never had confidence. I wasn't lucky and blessed and fortunate with being a guy who grew up with confidence, self-esteem, charm, and a good personality, all that. And you know why I didn't have that? Because when I was growing up in elementary school, no girls paid any attention to me, or hardly any of them did. They talked to me or interacted with me very little, like a smidgen amount. They interacted with me, like a little tiny minuscule amount of interacting with me. But they didn't want to make friends with me. They hardly looked at me or talked to me or interacted with me or hung out with me or ever, wanted to go anywhere or do anything with me. They never invited me over to their houses or anything like that. I never invited them over to my house. It was like we were on two different fucking planets. And that shit lasted me up until high school, up until I was a teenager, because I was never able to develop social skills or cues when talking to girls, because no girls talked to me and tried to make it easy for me from a very young, early on age in my life. They didn't ask me if they wanted to be friends with me. They didn't even seem to want to. They didn't give me any affection or attention at all whatsoever. So I was completely cut off, isolated, alienated, introverted, shy, uncomfortable, nervous, stressed out, and intimidated by any girls that I liked and had a crush on. And that lasted, for me, personally, up until I was a teenager. And because I never had any friends who were girls in elementary school, not that I necessarily wanted a girlfriend as far back as then, but I would have loved to have at least friends who were girls who would have at least talked to me and would have given me like a positive feeling for me about them. And, they didn't give me any attention or interact with me in any way, shape, or form. And that also lasted for me even in middle school. Like all throughout middle school. Also, same thing like elementary school. No girls talked to me. Well, hardly any of them did. Hardly any interaction between me or them whatsoever. They never really looked my direction or looked my way or, gave me any affection or attention at all whatsoever. And same exact case in fucking high school. And by the time I was 15 years old in late 2012, when I was first starting high school as a freshman, that is the point in time in my life that I really desperately wanted to have a girlfriend. And that I really craved and desired to have a girlfriend. Just one. I didn't want to be some fucking man horror player. I didn't want to sleep around. I didn't want to screw a bunch of girls. But I certainly as hell wanted at least one damn girlfriend. Just one. That's it. That's all I wanted. That's all I wished for. That's all I craved and desired and wished to have way back then. Especially when I was so fucking horny and just raging teenage hormones. Which is only understandable because every fucking teenager has that shit and goes through that. But for me, it was a living hell. It was torture and torment straight up because I wasn't able to successfully pull any girls when I was a high schooler. And every girl that I had a crush on, that I liked, that I wanted, that I wished to have, that I craved, desired, and all that, already had a boyfriend. They were already fucking taken. And that made me depressed as fuck. That made me become a miserable wreck. Dark-minded, negative, all that. And just feel like my whole world was crashing in down around me. And when it came to my sister, she was the only girl that I could talk to easily because I grew up in the same fucking household with her.
She was the only one I could talk to. You guys don't understand. I'm being tormented mentally, emotionally, and sexually. She passed gas, and that made my bird tweet nonstop.
On the real, though, I mentioned in middle and high school I was the Sahara Desert of dry spells. Never once did I consider my sisters attractive. I worked on myself and got better as I went. So can you. I don't hate you, though. You hate me to some degree. I'm still human, and I feel for you truly.
And because I was related to her, it wasn't ever hard for me to talk to her, to speak to her, to interact with her. And because I have the fetishes I do, and I've had these fetishes of mine ever since even my late fucking childhood, like since I was fucking 11, 12, 13, 14 years old. From like 2008 up until 2011 was the years and the ages in which I started to kind of develop and find out about myself that I have, you know, certain fetishes, obviously way more than compared to most guys. And yeah, my fetishes are not normal or popular or overrated or that common amongst men, but I don't give a fuck. I'm not hurting anybody by having the fetishes I do. There's nothing illegal about me being turned on by and liking the kind of shit that I do. You motherfuckers act like I'm some sort of fucking monster.
No, we think you are a monster because you find children attractive. You can have these outlandish fetishes and standards, but leave the fucking kids alone. Okay, I'm sorry guys, but the rest of this video, all he does is continue to rant about the usual stuff that leaks from his cerebral. Seems I need to relearn how to endure listening to him because it's worse than what it was. I had fun scripting this, and it's good to be back. Going to be a lot more active and expect at least one video a week going forward. If you like this sort of content and want to see more, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let's expose and report on these scumbags until they get a hint that they are the problem. Until next time, AP out.